Welcome to the Combative Nerds Podcast. Join us while we break balls and try to outwit each other at every turn while debating all things nerdom and trying to make sense of this world. Look, I'm not gonna lie, this is a Herculean task and I'm not sure we have enough brain power to do so. At the very least, we can laugh and offend each other through the process. Thanks for sharing your day with us. Now on to our show. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Raiderlance and
Not Maggot.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Please like, subscribe, share, follow. We got to say thank you so much to the MSF community. We've been trying to get the word out there. We're small, startup, we're brand new, and you guys have shown us so much love. We are getting a little tick up in traffic, and I really think it's attributed directly to you guys. So thank you so much. And kind of makes me feel that we're shitting all over the community, which is the reason why we're getting traction.
I think misery loves company. I think they're all just hearing the same things going, yep, that's pretty much a good summary of it. But yeah, it's great that the community we got a lot of listeners, a lot of likes, a lot of comments. That was really cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And a little bit more of housekeeping. So Not Maggot and I are working on developing a reoccurring show. So we're thinking about either doing some mobile game of the week, or, maybe we could do something that the MSF community cares about. Some tips, some strategies, how a vagina feels, things that the MSF community really needs help in. And so, no, in reality, we're going to do this mobile gaming of the week. We're going to work on it. We might go MIA a little bit. Just know that's what we're working on. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions on topics that we should do, please let us know and we'll try to incorporate it into the show. All right. So along with abusing MSF community members, we kind of falsely advertise. So this is going to be part 3 of our Unscrupulous Business Tactics by Scopely. We're not really going to talk about it that much. So you guys are used to false advertisement, abuse, and mistreatment. So, I want you to feel at home. I want you to feel comfortable. And so we're going to talk about MSF, Scopely, and their new screw up. But we also want to transition to horror stories of MSF. So with that being said, Not Maggot, could you please share me the new wonderful update that shows Scopely's incredible management of the game?
That's a really fancy way of saying gross incompetence, but yeah. So I guess it was earlier this week or late last week, I think it was late last week. They uploaded their new Strike Pass, Battle Pass, one of those. And along the way, instead of including in the exact same segment that would be 4,000 gold fragments, which is 2 gold orbs, they replaced it accidentally with 4,000 shards of this brand new character that they are, relatively new character that they had released that was not farmable. It was one of the ones that they had created. So, they're usually overpowered as all get out. And so
4,000?
They dropped 4,000 shards.
That's
of that character.
7 stars times 20, right?
Yeah, needless to say, the community was just up in arms because they were like, okay, we have to claim these now because the more people that claim it as soon as possible, the harder they would have to work to roll it back.
Interesting. I like that tactic. Okay. What was Scopely's response? A care package of 2 gold orbs and some Wolverine shards?
No, they actually had to basically, they kind of ate it and then they posted about it, basically saying, oh yeah, they said that they had discussed it with the team.
Sure.
And that they were going to leave it as it is because there was so many people that had already claimed it and that it just wouldn't work if any other way. Basically, we don't know how to unfuck this thing. So we're just going to leave it alone.
But normally, don't they just roll back the servers?
So the problem that they would run into is rolling back the servers, I think, is a lot harder than just simply going back to it's not like they time machine every single day.
Okay.
Constantly. So rolling everything back would mean, I think, making sure that everybody was whole first and then going forward. So they would have to roll everything back. And that's a huge undertaking. And I think it puts the system into maintenance.
Sure.
I mean, just a standard patch is hard enough. It's multiple hours and stuff like that. So yeah, so they decided that, which, hey, I will applaud them. They communicated about it. They said it's going to stay. And then they went on to say, we want to stress that this is not something to be expected by the community on every single future pass or anything like that. Basically, they're CYA.
I disagree. I think this is to be expected that they are going to have more fuck ups. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That was, I think the don't expect this was more so related to
graciously
this
handling it.
Fuck up. Well, and for the longest time, I'd always said that, look, if you screw something up, it's easier just to say, shit on us. We, take your lumps and move on.
Sure.
Because they've always gotten a bad rap about, when it affects the player base, it gets rolled back immediately.
Sure.
Or changed immediately. We talked about that previously.
Yeah.
And so this was one of the first times where I feel like they actually just said, this is gonna fuck something up if we try to roll it back. We've done this too many times to get this right. We couldn't get a routine pass right, much less faith from the community on rolling this back and making sure that everybody, because once you start down that path, okay, you claim it. Then you've got all these then you upgrade it. Well, then you've got gold involved. Then you've got red stars involved. Then you've got, Ultimus orbs involved with other shards of characters that are going to get dropped. So it just became this landslide, this cascading effect of you just cannot unfuck this thing. So they left it.
Let me throw in a healthy amount of skepticism. I do believe that Scopely had a meeting. I do believe that they spent a good 15 minutes on figuring out whether or not they could roll back or was the squeeze worth the juice of fixing this problem. And after that, they concluded, all right, it's going to be too much work. So how do we capitalize on this? What can we take away to offset this? And I think that was the remaining 45 to hour 45 of that meeting.
I completely agree. I think that so the challenge that they're running into, though, is they've already required this character for Apocalypse. So they can't stick that in there.
So
now,
this was going to be a sort of paywall character that only the whales would spend on the deals to get him. What character was this specifically?
This was that Spiderweaver character that they had just brought out.
Okay.
It was their third character that they custom created.
So again, I haven't been playing for a while, but let me just extrapolate what I would think they were doing. So they required this character. The average player free to play was going to be able to get this character to 3-star, maybe 4-star if they grinded. But now everybody has 7-star, which would make the event easier. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think but so the way that this Apocalypse unlock was going to be done, though, was the gate was always going to be the paywall, so to speak. The gate was always going to be blue ISO.
Interesting.
This blue ISO tier structure. So,
which means you have to be in the Doom raids.
Well, yeah, but more than anything, I mean, you just have to be participating in the ongoing monthly events that they've been running. But it would basically require, I mean, you could take a 2-star character and put blue ISO 5 on it. It's not going to be as powerful as a 7-star,
sure.
But that was never going to be the gate because it wasn't like a traditional unlock system, at least that we know of right now. Here's the other kicker. They have 3 tiers of this season pass, strike pass, whichever one, battle pass, whichever one it was. They have 3 tiers of it. And this is on the free to play track.
Okay.
But there's a tier 1, 2, and 3. This was only affecting tier 3 people. So anybody level 70 and above. So if you were 69, level 69 or below, you did not get this. So they can't take and make that a 7-star requirement just because everyone to level 70 and above, because there are people that are at level 69 that are up and coming whales that are going to be blocked out at that point if they make it a 7-star requirement.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah, a lot of the game has changed since I've been gone. I didn't know that they bifurcated the tiers based on power. It's not power level, but the level of the account.
Yes, yeah, that's been the way it is. I mean, I think so. You got to remember when they launched that a long time ago.
Oh, did they?
However,
I was never aware of that.
Yeah, but you and I were already in later levels anyway. So, we were always like, anytime that they ever released a new, height requirement or whatever, level requirement, we were already at the cap.
Okay.
So getting the extra 5 levels didn't affect us. But they had launched 3 different tiers of that, and the gear, it was designed for the gear to be for that specific range.
That makes sense.
So where we were getting gold gear, they were getting purple, or they were getting blue, because they're starting out. They can't use gold gear.
Oh, that totally makes sense.
So,
wow, Scopely did something that makes sense. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's ironic.
So let's just theorize. How do you think Scopely is going to screw the players? How are they going to make money on this? Let's be in that boardroom meeting.
I honestly, I don't even know if I can fathom the depths. Because
go hit your head in the wall for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe
we got to call Scrooge McDuck in. But yeah, I mean, I have no clue how they're going to come up with a way, because it's not like this character's not farmable. This character, they were withholding this character. I can't even fathom how they're going to do it, because it was a fairly, I would say, fairly free to play friendly release, because it was a custom character that they made. It was their character. So they had actually, go ahead.
Okay. So I totally missed this. This is the equivalent of a Kestrel character, where they pull this character out of their own thin air, made their own backstory, their own artwork for this. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is the third. So you remember they had Kestrel? They had, yeah. So they had Kestrel, they had Deathpool, which I love Deathpool's story, by the way. It was so much fun. It was really funny. And I'm a huge Deadpool fan.
Right.
So there's that.
Look at my shirt.
But exactly, I know. I saw your shirt. So for everybody listening, but yeah, so there was Kestrel, there was Deathpool, and then there was this third character that was Spiderweaver. And this was, it's a broken character to begin with.
Well, of course.
And now it's 7. Everybody has 7-star.
It's so much money, time, and energy. Clearly the person who did this got a promotion. Obviously, they'll be the next Cerebro. But, oh my God, what a screw up. I didn't realize. Okay, so from my understanding, the way Scopely thinks is we are going to spend X to develop this character, and we are planning to make Y, releasing this character, so we will net these funds. They botched that whole calculation and just gave this character away. So it is a net loss.
100% it is. And here's the funny part.
I don't feel bad for them at all. Good.
Oh, I don't either. It's their own issue that they created. If somebody had looked at that in just 2 seconds and said, that's not in the right place.
Hire one person to do quality control for X amount of dollars per hour. You would have saved how many tens of $1,000s, you assholes.
Yeah. What's that outsourcing program that you can use, software like that you outsource,
no idea.
Mundane tasks?
Are you talking about not Fiverr or a website like that?
Yeah, Fiverr. Okay. Yeah. So they literally could have taken a picture of the pass or a video of the pass and sent it to somebody on Fiverr and said, just review this and see if anything looks off.
Yeah.
They probably would have spotted it.
Oh my God. Or give it to the community. Give it to the community. They'll do it for free. Pick a couple. Let's not call them envoys. Let's call them something else. Give them a couple players. Hey, just beta test everything for us and we'll give you these perks. You're done. You have your quality control ahead of time. Didn't they do that for Green ISOs before it launched? They gave it to the community. They let them run with it. They got the feedback and then they launched it.
They put it in the test server. Yes.
Yes.
And I've always felt like they need to have basically every patch that they're rolling out a month from now should be in a controlled test server environment that literally is the patch verbatim. And it's just, even if it's somebody, it doesn't even necessarily have to be the content creator envoys. It could be, just Jack and Jill in the basement of their parents' house. It doesn't matter.
Have a mixture.
Just get volunteers from across the nation, across the country. That's a big thing because time zones affect different things too.
Oh, you're right.
So you can spot, there's been errors where Australia gets it first because they're always like the first ones.
Right.
And then, so something happens there. Those are things that if they just had a dummy test server, they would be able to do a lot of testing on that stuff. Anything that's player related, player specific where you want player feedback and stuff, yeah, you can get their feedback as well. You can also ask the envoys and stuff like that. They're going to also be your hype train. So
Yes.
there's that piece where they're kind of there to give the good, the bad, and the ugly, but their job is not beta testing. And they shouldn't be asked to beta test. But there shouldn't be a disparaging gap between the conference call you have with the envoys, giving them all the notes for the new release stuff,
Right.
and then what actually is when the game goes live.
Right.
There shouldn't be a disparaging gap. I mean, there's video of a person interviewing Cerebro playing like Heroes for Hire or something like that, and they gave her the ability to play it. She was playing it live, and in 5 minutes found a huge freaking issue. And she's like, wait, how did that happen? Caught Cerebro off guard. I mean, there's video of it,
Oh
it circulates. And it's like, how is a non-player able to say, hey, that's not right? But yet your own team can't figure it out. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
They ate it.
Good.
They, for the first time, probably in a long time, they stuck with it, which, hey, I don't care if you tell me not to expect it in the future. That's fine. This is what happened. You guys messed up. It's your fault. If it costs you thousands of dollars,
do
more. Better.
Way more.
You know what the funny part is? Immediately afterwards on Reddit, everybody was like, hey, so when are we going to get those 2 gold orbs?
I love pettiness, especially against people like Scopely. I don't care. Good for them.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Everybody was just like, hey, so when are we going to get those 4,000 gold fragments?
Oh my God. Well, you know what? I guess late Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Good for the player base. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, there's people that are obviously a little bit more upset because if they spent money on the character and that sort of thing. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, that part of it, just don't even complain. Like that to me is like, look, you bought it at the time, you agreed on the contract, you signed the deal when you hit the buy button. This is something completely different, You
gotta wonder. Scopely has a reason, and you can disagree with whatever reason they come up with to not have quality control. But what is the rationale? It can't just be it costs too much to pay for more people. It can't be, because this mistake alone, my opinion is that's probably one person's salary for the year. And they do this, monthly? Every other month? So I'm not saying offset it, but hire 1 or 2 people. Is it that they don't want to hire more people to field the complaints? They don't want to hire the 1 or 2 specific people to do the quality control? Like, do you think there's any other rationale other than them being assholes or them not being able to see beyond increasing costs?
So I think it's actually it's a cost. 100% it's a cost thing. Because think about the field that they're in. Think about the competition that's out there. You've got game studios all over the place, especially in California, right? You've got Silicon Valley all over that.
Sure.
You can be an app developer if you want, whatever. But there's a cost associated to all of that. And so on top of that, if you say, okay, this person, we're going to start them out, you're not going to get somebody for less than $55,000, $60,000. I don't know what cost of living is in California, but I can tell you one thing, $65,000 is probably going to get you a tent off one of the boardwalks somewhere.
Sure.
And so it's a high cost industry for salaries. And then you've got all of the additional pieces that go on top of that. So general rule of thumb is it's going to cost you at least 125% of what you actually pay an employee just to pay them.
Yeah.
And then you've got all your benefits and everything else.
Yep.
So if you cap the guy or the girl, if you cap the person at part-time, then you still have to deal with that. And then you're capping them on the actual hours that they're spending doing QA. So now you're just really throwing money out the window. You pay them full-time. Well, now you've got all the additional benefits that you've got to do. And every state has their own requirements. So,
sure.
Workers' comp and all that stuff.
Sure.
All of those factors play into it. So to your point, yes, that was one person's salary. It was the QA person that they considered hiring that they talked about in Q4 last year when they set the budget. If there was somebody that was going to be QA hired, that guy's off the table. That job is off the table. It's no longer a possibility.
Oh, interesting. So the way I'm thinking about it, which is clearly wrong, you are saving future money. But the way they see it is we have this amount of profits, which will establish next year's budget. We just lost part of our profitability. So now our budget just went down.
That's my theory. Again, I have no
Interesting.
real evidence of it. But if you think about it, so I've done a lot of work with government budgets and stuff like that. And so if you think about it the way that a government sets a budget, they set their budget in
Advance.
Basically Q1, Q2. So they set it in Q1 with all their charges. It goes in, they submit it, it gets approved. They get money 7/1.
That's true.
So if you're thinking about it the same way that they are, where they're launching new products, launching new packages, launching new characters, requirements, all that stuff, they're looking at this development cost, this revenue stream, this development cost, this revenue stream. So if you come up short at the end, that money's got to come from somewhere because they can't go back. They already know that there's an overhead cap that's got to go to Marvel, right? They got to pay part of Kevin Feige's salary.
Right.
And so, so the IP takes a good bit. And then they also have the cost of doing business where you have your 25, 30% to Google and Apple.
Sure. Taxes.
Right? Or even a few percent to, exactly. All of those things get taken out. So, I think there's a good chance that if they were talking about hiring wise, that's not going to happen now. That one screw up cost future issues, but it's always been cheaper for them to real time fix things. Launch it. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yep.
And that's literally they have the Bill O'Reilly mantra. Fuck it. I'll do it live. And that's what they've always done. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's how they've always handled it.
I think what you laid out was a very rational, practical, profitable strategy. And here's why I still think it's bullshit. If you're a startup trying to get to profitability, or if you're trying to grow, makes perfect sense. I cannot throw any stones. These sons of bitches are making over 300 million. Let's shave away 70% of that. That's still a lot of goddamn money. You can hire somebody for total cost $100,000 a year, you pieces of shit.
I don't know if they're publicly traded or not, but if they are, they've got shareholders. If they're not publicly traded, then they've got some group of people up at the top that are like, okay, well, if we hire somebody, that's going to come out of our paycheck. So again, I have no evidence of this stuff. I'm just theorizing.
Yeah, no, I understand. You need that second yacht to these bastards. Well, good. Screw them. I'm glad they messed up something and the players finally got a win.
Huge. Yeah, for sure. Everybody was claiming it and they're like, do we think they're going to roll it back? Do we think they're going to roll it back? Our whole Discord, I think actually you and I were recording when that happened because my phone was blowing up and I was like, who the hell is texting me? And my Discord was just boom, 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 boom.
Jump on.
Yeah. And I'm like, so we get wrapped up and everything. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Who died?
Yeah.
And I jumped on there and I'm like, let me claim this shit now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Well, are there any other fun updates after the Spider-Weaver debacle?
None as juicy, that's for sure. I think we're pretty much caught up at this point.
Hey, what team does Spider-Weaver go on?
She's on a Cosmic Crucible team it's like a 3-person team that's in the Tangled Web, and the other two characters basically suck, but she's broken as fuck.
Yeah, ever since Eternals, it seems like you get a broken character, every month or two.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the character doesn't work.
No.
It's that the character is broken because it's so damn good and beating it is a pain in the ass, and it only just got harder because now everybody has a 7 yellow star, probably going to go ahead and upgrade to that 6th red star, maybe even a 7th red star. So now the chance that you had to ability block the character so that she doesn't go off and then dodge everything.
Got it.
Yeah, now she's going to resist it. So get fucked.
Dark Hunters is a counter with Elsa?
No, nothing. Because she's ridiculous.
That was one of my favorite things to do. Was I had a really big Elsa on accident, and I loved just ramming Elsa's shotgun up the ass of the Spider-Verse, because every time they would dodge, they would get wrecked by her passive. So it sounds like this doesn't apply.
Yeah, so this isn't a dodge. This is a blind.
Oh, you're screwed.
And blind is basically just a minus 100%.
Yeah, you're screwed.
So it's not a dodge.
There's one, again, I haven't played for a while, but isn't there one character that basically helps their team with blinds or increases their accuracy?
Yeah, that's Heimdall. He's got.
Okay, there you go.
He applies that. I mean, ironically, I think Daredevil, Hawkeye,
Sure.
Kate Bishop, Heimdall, and then Deathlock, I think, are the 5 that actually have more than 100% accuracy.
Yeah, but I think
so blind is literally a 100% reduction in accuracy, if you want to get technical.
Yeah, but I think Heimdall's the only one who helps the team with accuracy. Is that correct?
That sounds right, but I don't
Okay.
know for sure. There may be one or more, but if there is, then obviously we'll probably get somebody screaming at us in the comments, which is fine.
Please comment. Let's just start saying random shit that's wrong, so people will continue to correct us.
Yeah, they're gonna think we're idiots, but we're just trying to get the views.
That's it. That's our show. Join Not Maggot and myself for the second half of this episode where we talk about Marvel Strike Force horror stories. Should be a good one. Please do us a favor and like, subscribe, share this podcast so we can get some traction. Once I get around to it, check us out on our social. Combative Nerds on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You know the deal. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next episode.